All right, it's the rundown. Today we are sponsored by Dat Chat.
Dat Chat.
And I gotta be honest, this might be the invention of 2021, 2022. This is something that like a bunch of smart people, I'm sure, got in a room and were like, hey, let's give the world exactly what they're fucking asking for. Dat Chat is a social networking and messaging app that finally caters to us, meaning the stupid people of the world, the drunk people of the world, the horny people of the world, the impulsive people of the world. It allows you, there's no screenshotting allowed. There is, you can set your texts to self-destruct, meaning like you only have 5 seconds to read this or 5 days to read this. You can unsend all of your messages. That it also deletes it from their phone. Any drunk text you regret, you can get rid of. Anything, any pictures you send, you can make sure they don't get screenshotted. Like the next level of, whoops, I shouldn't have done that, or hey, that, delete that off your phone. You don't have to trust anybody ever again, because the fucking Dat Chat's gonna do it for you.
This feels like one of those things they've been trying to get
perfect.
working
That's what I mean.
for a while.
Yeah.
And we finally seem to have hit the nail on the head. There are all those other apps. I don't know the name them. You may have heard of them.
Right.
That was always Cuban like, had one. Remember Cuban had that one?
Mm-hmm.
Fucking Dustbuster or something?
But it was Dust that. Well, either way, yeah. They
that one's gone. I think we can say the name.
Everything I remember seeing, I'd be like, people are still just going to use their text messaging app. This has me like, yo, get on Dat Chat, bro.
Yeah.
I ain't sending text. I'm sending text. I'm off text messages.
I'm
only Dat Chatting.
Finally, someone joins me.
Dat Chat me or don't even fucking talk to me. Download the app now. Make sure to join. Dat Chat. Go to iPhone. It's available on iPhone or Android, and go to Dat Chat, DAT chat.com/Barstool to get more info. We'll start off with. We got to keep going, Travis Scott. I mean, the saga just keeps getting worse and worse. So at the end of last week, Thursday night, I believe it was, at the Astroworlds Festival. Friday night, 8 people died, 23 were injured, 300 people needed medical assistance. All weekend long, fans have been uploading videos, really like harrowing shit. Particularly the one girl on stage yelling at the cameraman, being like, there are dead people, stop the show. The one kid who was like, that's somebody's child, I want to just save them. There's a small chant going on. People acted like the whole fucking crowd was chanting stop the show. Yeah. But, I don't think Travis Scott could have even heard it. But enough people knew. And also, there's footage of Travis Scott stopping the show for one fan. Being like, yo, that guy, like, give him some room. Which I think makes it worse because it's like he can't be like, oh, I didn't, the lights are up and it's loud. I don't ever know what's going on in the crowd. It's like he does have awareness of what's going on. Now, obviously, does he know everything that's happening? Does he know the extent that it's happening? That we don't know. I believe it was something around 9:40 is when like a death was reported. The show continued until 10:20. I don't think we'll ever know who, if somebody told Travis Scott and he kept going for 40 minutes, if that was the case, I don't think we'll ever know that. Anyway, long story short, Sunday night he puts out an apology video where he never actually says, I'm sorry. The tweet never says, I'm sorry. The whole thing, he's like rubbing his eyes. He's like,
it's a really bad apology video.
Goes out to the family. At one point he goes, if you or anyone you know has information. I was like, it's not Unsolved Mysteries, bro. Like, I think a lot of people are like, this is Travis Scott's fault, but I think most people understand it's more precarious than this. But you gotta say I'm sorry.
But also Travis Scott, it's like this is like the third time something's happened to the show. Like you think
that's like his thing, I guess, is that he gets his crowd hyped. I think he was once charged with inciting a riot.
Thing. Like my thing when I get on stage is get everyone excited.
Well, the two main things people are saying from the past, in 2019 he was charged with inciting a riot because he like told people to bum rush the thing, and then there's the footage of what's going on now. It's grimy. People are acting like there's a video from this week that's old, and they're saying that he did it. There's a 10-year-old who got injured, and they're saying he's yelling at the 10-year-old who later died. A, he didn't die, and B, that wasn't from the same event. But he's crowd surfing, and someone tried to steal Travis's shoe. And when he gets back, he's like, you, fuck him up, and like rallying the crowd to go against him. So just evidence of him like not being very, careful with the fans at his crowd doesn't really bode well for his,
Yeah.
It's like a character witness against him right now in some of these videos.
He did offer to pay for the funerals today.
Oh, paid for the
Thanks.
funerals. He's refunding all 50,000 people.
Paying for the funerals is one of the darkest moves. I would just not.
You
offer
could
that.
you do that, but don't like announce it.
Yeah,
It's
yeah.
like, I'll buy the casket. I'll buy the box.
That
you
dude
know?
fucking rage, man.
Shit.
I mean, the apology video was
bad.
was bad off rip once I saw that there was a filter on it.
Yeah. Oh fuck! I should have said that in the video.
Like, you put a filter on an apology video? Like, he was trying to, like, establish an aesthetic. Like, he made it black and white. And I remember it's like a 6-slide apology, which it should be, but, like, I was like, is this dude gonna take his hand off his face at any point in the video?
the whole thing.
And the
just
whole
like,
time, he's just like,
kind of like rose mouth too.
damn,
It's
like
not
this. I
articulate.
saw someone on this event isn't funny at all, but I saw someone on TikTok put auto-tune on it, and it was very funny.
I mean, there are some funny ones going around where he's like, this kid's faking it, and he's like, I'm just playing. I can't.
Yeah.
It's money.
I mean, my take on it, like, I think Live Nation is gonna get absolutely ethered, and they deserve to be, because for all the accounts I've read is that it was very understaffed. Like, one of the people that got crushed themselves and made it out was an EMT, and the security guards were like, "You're an EMT, like, we need you right now," because apparently
that story
they
is
didn't
a girl who's
Yeah.
a nurse.
Yeah.
She got smushed to the point that she passed out. Her boyfriend had the crowd surf her to
crowd
safety.
surfer lifeless body.
And then she like woke up in like this help area with a water bottle in her lap, and she woke up. She's a nurse, and she said there were just bodies. She said there were people doing CPR that were incorrectly doing it. They weren't checking for any pulses. And when she came to, she wanted to help, and she was like, "Where are the defibrillators? Where's the bags? Where's the this?" And they were like, "We just don't have any of that stuff." So they were just like grossly understaffed and grossly like they didn't have the utilities or whatever.
Yeah.
So that's not Travis Scott's fault, but it's kind of one of those things where it's like everything is gonna be your fault. You're at the top
I
of this
do
whole
think
thing.
that there's a lot of people on the internet that are like, this is like, they're trying to say it's 100% on him, and like,
Well, Alec Baldwin's a murderer and Travis Scott's a
yeah,
murderer.
he doesn't he doesn't want his fans to die.
No.
Like, that's a ludicrous thing to say,
No.
but I do think that he is partially responsible, because he, like you said, like, people were trying to say that he was like singing in someone's face. And they cut the part out where he was like, "No, stop! Like, someone needs help." But like you said, I think that's almost worse, because then he was aware that something was
plead
going
ignorance.
wrong, and then
Yeah.
he just continued to keep going.
But
so
ultimately, it's like, okay, he saw that one fan.
Right.
But, there's a sea of like 100,000 people. You might not know. What it all comes down to is, what did Travis Scott, Tommy, did you just take a shit from that chip?
Again?
Yeah. No, lowering the bar is worse than Astroworld right now.
you look like you just got
What
hit
it comes
by a
down to
car.
is whether
That's tough.
he was told, when he was told, if he was told,
Yes.
and what he was told.
Exactly.
Because if he was told, like, "Yo, Trav, the crowds are getting like crazy right now, rowdy,"
Yes.
he might be like, "Let's fucking go." If it was like, "Yo, someone's dead," I don't know the guy, but I really don't think he'd be like,
Right.
"Let's
Yeah.
go,"
I mean, the video of the dude dancing on top of the ambulance is
And that's the other
tough.
problem too.
What was the plan then?
Yeah,
like,
like,
you
you
just
gotta
That's the
didn't drive
problem.
a
That's the
car
problem.
into
There
a
isn't. There
fucking
was
huge
not
crowd
a.
of people?
There was not a plan.
Dude, I
There-
hate
there-
to
Kids,
be
I
like-
don't think kids should jump on it, obviously, but like, if your plan A was, we'll into a huge concert of partygoers, we'll drive a fucking golf cart, and that'll be in case there's an emergency. That's the plan.
Yeah.
Well,
There's
that's
not
the
been a
thing
very
is,
good
like,
plan.
you hire, like, it's probably like 5 nurses, a couple medics, a couple ambulances, and they sit around, like, collecting their hourly check, being like, nothing's gonna, I'm gonna have to give some water to some people, like, rolling on ecstasy. You know what I mean? I don't think anyone's ready for a true tragedy.
From
But-
everything I've read, it basically seemed like a perfect storm, because I guess at this parking lot they've done it the last 3 years. Every year they're like, this is not a proper venue for this. There's too many people. Yada yada yada.
I do think, much like Alec Baldwin was like, there was so much attention, and now, like, The Rock came out and was like, we're not going to do any live guns on
Yeah.
my set. I think this is one of these things where they might, change some rules and
But
like,
this was
limit
like-
some people. And
I saw the numbers on like a tweet, so they're probably wrong. I hate one of those chips too, so I'm talking weird and I got stuff going on.
Disgusting.
It was 220,000 people went to Woodstock, and 3 died, and that's considered the most calamitous event in music history. So like,
so this was 50 and 8.
50,008 would like. I mean, we've been talking about Woodstock for 30 years.
Yeah.
However long it's been, 20 years.
Yeah.
The fact that like you would think there could be fucking documentaries, people. I don't know if Woodstock ever changed anything, but by the numbers, it's worse than Woodstock.
I hate to sound like a dad, like an old loser, but like every time I see these festivals, I'm like, this is dangerous. Like if something does go wrong, you're fucked. If you're in the middle, like you're fucked. And people are on drugs, they're not drinking water, they don't know what to do. And then there's always the like nervousness, like, well, we're gonna get in trouble. You know, it's like, ugh, the whole thing.
What
disaster.
came of that? I thought like the pinprick thing was gonna be this monster deal.
So that TMZ reported it. It was that a security guard felt a prick in his neck and then just like dropped like a box of rocks.
He had to get
Narcan.
Yeah.
So that's why some people think it was fentanyl. They gave him Narcan. That's like you either breathe or you get stabbed. That's like the adrenaline to make you survive an overdose.
I learned recently that Narcan is a breathe. I thought
it's
for sure.
Well, newly. I think it used to be like a pen, and now
really?
it's like you sniff it in.
It seems like that's a red herring.
That didn't like.
Yeah.
Maybe it happened. Maybe it didn't. People are saying that that there was a crazed person running around pricking people. I did see a tweet being like, I'm a drug addict and I can tell you that people don't waste their precious drugs on other people. But if it wasn't necessarily a drug, that like it could have just.
That also doesn't change the hundreds.
It has nothing to do with it.
Yeah, it has hundreds of videos of people. Like every time I open my phone, I see a new video that is very haunting and jarring of people just being absolutely crushed, gasping for air. Like that has nothing to do with.
And don't you think if there's enough people on camera being like, please stop the show, that means that there was like a ton of people doing it?
Yeah. I mean, I don't think that Travis Scott is as liable as a lot of people are saying, but I do think he holds a major part of the blame.
I was thinking to myself, if you were that chick, she was like backstage, right?
I don't think so. I think no, that camera guy, those guys are like set in the crowd.
Oh, okay. If you were like, let's say you were backstage somehow, you knew what was going on. Do you think you would just like rush out on stage and try to be like, you can get his attention?
Oh heavens no. I'd be too scared about him getting a little mad at me.
There's just no way to know. Like, I mean, yeah.
I feel like I kind of would. If I saw people dying.
Yeah, if you see people
it's also because I don't
dying,
respect
like-
Travis Scott at all. So I'd be like, I don't care who this guy is. I'd be like running out there being like, stop your fucking show, dude.
I don't think I'd run out on stage.
No, I'm saying if you were already like there, you know what I mean? You're already backstage. You don't have to like climb up. Somehow you were backstage, you knew what was going on. And you can tell that he didn't know.
I'd run out back on stage really slowly, hoping someone grabbed me first and I could just tell them.
Tell them, yeah.
Like, I tried to run on stage.
It's hard to believe that somehow, some way, people weren't told.
Yeah, I know. It's crazy.
We'll never know. B, if that was the case, he did find out somehow. Like, no one's admitting to that shit.
Yeah.
Unless there's some crazy whistleblower who's like gonna fuck him over.
Yeah, the big nexus of the whole thing is the fact of like when it was reported.
Can you click on that
versus like when it stopped?
Right
because
Metro,
those 40 minutes
the news
are like
article, it says Travis Scott
the
was
buck
warned.
has to stop with someone. Like 8 people fucking died.
See, like this
it's
says
crazy.
was Travis Scott was reportedly warned about the crowd at his Astroworld Festival moments before fans were killed. I mean,
as
if
someone
he
who
was,
used to work for a traveling concert that was often warned by police, that doesn't really mean anything.
Yeah, I agree. And like shows get crazy. And
I don't know, man. If you're on stage and someone's like in your ear being like, "Yo, people."
Wait,
are
is that what it says? I thought it was like before the show.
Was
We were like,
reportedly
hey,
warned about the crowd moments before fans were killed.
But no,
That seems like a
that's
headline
iffy because
thing.
they had like a meeting beforehand where like this could get really crazy. But I feel like he has that meeting
Which
before
like no
every
shit, the
concert.
cops say that every time.
Yeah, he has that meeting
Troy
before
Finner
every
visited
concert.
the rapper in his trailer. That's that's fucked up.
Yeah.
Moments before what? Hundreds of moments before, like 1,000 moments before.
Yeah.
So that is tough. But I said you can't blame him for everything that's happened here. You can blame him for the response, and the response is like just piss poor. It's just
Very
shitty
bad
fucking
response,
bad
yeah,
response.
very bad response.
And I know you can't there's legal ramifications, but I don't know, man. Say you're sorry. Say you're fucking sorry. Next up, awesome UFC event this weekend. And I say that because I was there, so now I know how awesome it was.
That's sick.
Now I do believe though it was pretty awesome, like even by UFC standards. Going into it, everyone was saying it was. Is Bob around?
I don't think so.
He was. I saw him today.
He's recording. I only watched the last fight.
You only watched the last fight?
Oh really?
Yeah.
It
The
was
first
awesome.
fight was the fight of the night. Just because that was one of the most blood, and that's how my brain
Yeah.
works.
Wait, the first fight? We missed the first fight, no? You mean the first fight of the main card?
First fight of the main
Yeah,
card.
yeah, yeah.
Oh, I didn't see the one at 6
Well,
p.m.
because that fucking the heavyweight guy who fucking knocked the guy and then did a backflip and landed on his butt. That was cool.
That
I
dude
missed
was pretty sick. That was probably like, I don't know, 8 o'clock?
I was watching Dune.
Good movie.
We'll get into it. Rudy hated it because he's a hater.
I did not hate it. I just had some complaints.
He thinks he's smarter than Dune. So me and Fights went last night. This fat guy, this was cool. Pow!
Oh
If you're a
my
fat guy
God.
doing a spinning back kick,
dude.
and then he just
Watch
wails
his
on.
celly.
Dude, nimble fat
Dude,
guys
that-
are
Nimble fat guys. This is like Vince Wilfork being in UFC, right?
That's like Chris
And
Farley.
then watch
quickness.
this Sally. Whoa, right on the butt. That's
gotta
so
be
awesome.
kidding me. That's
right?
unreal.
So me and Fights were at the bar.
Oh
we were
my
right across the
gosh.
street because that was like not part of the main card. And we were getting a beer. We were thinking about going in late because we just didn't want to be like gassed for like the main 1 o'clock event. And that's when I was like, let's go. I was like, I've been in a bar a million times. I've never seen that before,
Yeah.
so I don't want to miss another
It's
one
a
of
good
those.
thing we went because we caught like the end of. So it's like on ESPN and then that pay-per-view switches over to switches over to pay-per-view at like 10 p.m.
Yeah.
So we saw like the last 2 fights before the switch. And the last one we saw was a knockout, which is the only knockout.
Was it not the knee?
Dude, yeah. Where the guy spit. Dude, this dude spit because we were probably like 15 feet away.
You got
This
hit?
dude spit. He looked like Ariel coming out of the water. Like it was just like spit.
Really?
It was awesome.
I was watching.
It was like being front row at SeaWorld.
Dude, we were in the splash zone. We were a couple seats forward, more closer. We would have got hit with spit. I was like talking to Fights, and I started to turn. I almost missed it, and in the corner of my eye, I just saw pow, and I did like a Joe Rogan. I was like, ah.
I've always been curious about this because I saw your guys' seats. You're really close.
Yeah, like shout out to
Is
Dana
it-
White.
is
Uncle
it-
Dana
I-
hooked us up.
I always wonder, like, with UFC, because of the cage, how well can you see?
You can see great.
Really?
The only, you know what? The only thing that bothered me.
Cameramen.
Yes.
Cameramen
They have
getting you right
cameramen on every pole, if you will, of
and
the
they're
of the
pretty
octagon.
big.
They're a width of a human, but you'd be surprised how often that just gets like right in the way.
There was one fight, one moment, in Rose versus Zhang, that, like, I swore they were fucking with me personally.
Yeah.
Because they just
Yes.
they stayed in this one line the whole time, like
Oh, you mean
right
like
behind
the photographers, right? That were
no,
moving?
it was the 2 fighters.
you mean
were
the fighters
right
were fucking
behind,
with you? Yes, because
behind
they
the
were.
photographer.
Yeah.
And I was like, there's no way they would stay in this fucking
the
row
whole
for this
time.
fucking long,
Yeah.
unless they knew I couldn't see when they were there.
It was the first time I ever went to anything, and I get super spoiled at the Garden, Dana White seats, amazing card. So I'm sure it's not always like that, but if you can go, it's some bucket list shit. It's awesome.
Dude, you
can
could feel the
imagine.
bass in every punch.
When they
Like
hit
when
the
they hit
butt-
them, you feel it in your seat.
Yeah, I'd be
It
curious
is.
because it's one of those things where, like, live sporting events, obviously, like, through the TV, you don't get a sense of the pace and the athleticism and how. But, like, UFC, I'd love to see how
Bro, they do
dangerous
this shit
they look.
like the lights go down and
Yeah, oh,
like
yeah.
and the spotlights hit the
I can bet that's
the
pretty cool.
octagon, and it's just like holy shit, man.
Yeah. But the last fight was. I watched the last fight.
We fell in love. Both of us fell in love.
With a
John's
girl?
gonna propose to Thug Rose, and I'm proposing to Candace Owens because she was
Oh, I
sitting.
thought we
Did you
were
say
both proposed-
Candace Owens?
I thought
Yes.
we were both proposing to Candace Owens. Candace Owens?
No, she's mine, bro.
The political commentator.
Yes,
She was
there
there?
for Colby
She-
Covington
she
because he's like
was
a big
there.
MAGA guy. And
Yes.
bro, she was sitting front row, and listen, there's a lot of famous people and shit, and so there's a lot of like Insta thoughts. There's a lot of good-looking women at a UFC event,
There was- I
which
can
is very
imagine.
funny because there's a lot of good-looking chicks who are there, I think, just because they're on a date or they're fucking a fight or whatever.
Yeah.
But then there was a couple who were like, "Fucking kill him, fucking kill him," like
Yeah.
looking hot as shit. But Candace Owens was sitting front row, and I was like, who is that? I thought it was. He goes, "No, I think that's like a model."
No,
Like, that
it
must
was
be like a
straight out
model.
of
She
the
was
office.
So hot.
When fucking what's his dick comes in? Who's not Josh Duhamel. Who looks like Josh Duhamel? Oh, Timothy Olyphant.
Yeah.
When Timothy, they go, like, she goes,
Yeah.
holy shit, that's a traveling salesman. And Michael Scott goes, no, that's a male model.
Yeah.
Kevin was
That
like,
was-
I think that's Candace Owens. I was like, nah, that's a model.
She's too hot that she got to be a model. She was an absolute rocket. She was there to see Colby Covington, who just got fucking whooped up. Actually, no, it was, a pretty fair fight.
He did. I thought he was gonna get crippled.
That like
in
second
the
round, I
first-
think
in the second
he was
round,
just
he was getting
whooped.
that left of who was the other guy? I always
Usman.
mix up him and Usman.
Usman, yeah.
Usman was just tagging him with that left.
He was laughing, smiling.
There was that one where he hit him with the left, and then he's like kind of like gets back up, and he's like this, and then the left just comes again, and I was like, oh, that's a wrap. But then he's one of those sick puppies like Nate Diaz, where like the more you hit him, the more he like kind of got into it.
My main thing, I mean, this is not even just from being live, I guess in general, every time I watch, I'm so surprised by how much the minute in between a round, they like reboot. Like I was like, oh, this round, like it's over once he comes back out here. He could barely walk, and then he comes back out like refreshed. His face is like a hamburger meat, but they're back on their feet, ready to rock.
One thing I always find weird is in the broadcast they put the camera like right on him. You can hear the coach talking, and the coach always is sort of. I always picture fighting coaches being like much more intense, or like they're much more like you got to like watch out for his left or this. They always are just like. you're like, just stay focused. And you gotta go for like the left. You gotta go for the
You know
left.
what I would love? Like,
And I'm like, what? I'm like, I feel like you gotta get in their ear a little bit more about certain things.
I
like-
would love a skit of like honest cornermen. Just be
Yeah,
like,
yeah,
all right, champ, we are fucked, bro. Like, I'm gonna have to throw the towel soon. Like, you are gonna die out there.
You know how they say you need to close the distance? You need to run. You need to run around the octagon.
So we had Billy Quarantillo in here, and he was just, his left leg was just getting hammered.
It
You
was
could
like,
see the
dude, stop
bruising
going forward like that.
Yeah, and I mean, he fought the last like 2 rounds almost, basically on one leg. It was watching that to me was like the most jarring thing about like, seeing it in person. I wanted to like run out there and be like, stop, your leg's fucking broken.
The kicks always get me too. Like if I love everything about UFC. Like you sort of romanticize fighting. You're like, I would love to be in a scrap like that. But then whenever I see the kicks, I almost would have to be in UFC and be like, don't kick me.
Dude, there was one thing, I
how about
forget
the one
if
shot?
it was the Vargas fight, whatever, stand up for a second.
I'm gonna kick you, bro.
I forget whose fight it was in, but they're grappling, or whatever you call it, on like the fence, right? And they're kind of just like holding like this.
Yeah.
And then you knee me in the head.
Yeah.
Like while his face like on the shoulder, he catches a knee in the head.
Yeah.
And I was like, I'd call the fucking police. Like when my fucking
Can he do that?
chin is resting on someone's shoulder, the last thing I would expect
Is a knee to the face.
I'd be like, all right, there's one thing I don't have to worry about right here. That's getting kneed in the head.
At the end of what round? One of the early rounds when Usman was just killing him. He had almost like knocked him out, and Covington gets on the ground, and Usman's on top of him, just wailing on his fucking like kidneys and his back until he was saved by the bell. Otherwise, I think he was just gonna punch him until his fucking back exploded.
And then they did the thing where they did the thing where they got up and they like get in each other's faces.
Oh yeah.
I'm like,
By the end, they actually had like that respect for each other. When in the beginning, I thought they wanted to murder each other in real life.
Totally.
Overall, though, just one of the
Well, hang on.
coolest events.
Let's not wrap this up just yet, because we gotta talk about the highlight of the night.
What was that?
It's not going to translate. No one's going to find this
Don't
funny.
care that you're
but
not gonna find this interesting.
This was top 5 funniest moment of my life.
It's gonna be my superhero moment where like I create this technology where I can pull one image from someone's head that they can relive forever, and it's all so I can go back and get this moment. We're walking out.
We're leaving as Usman's just giving his victory speech. Colby Covington's giving his defeat speech, and so we were
I
like,
think we
let's
can
get out.
find this guy actually. Like I want to pay for him to reenact this moment.
Colby Covington is like, just want to give a shout out to the first responders, the military, firemen, firefighters, everyone out there who keeps us safe.
That was the first thing he said when he got on the mic. And we are walking out, and he's a big guy. He's a big guy, and he's just like an usher. He's in this like sweater. And he's kind of just standing there. And he goes, without irony or whatever, the first words out of Covington's mouth were,
Shout out to the first responders.
quick shout to the first responders. And this guy goes, yes! Yes!
It was Dwight with the fire trucks in the office. He spun around, dude. He gave a fist bump and was like, yeah! Yeah! Like, individual clap. Yeah! And I saw it, and I was like, I didn't think anyone else even noticed, and I was like, oh my God, that was like the funniest thing I've ever seen. And then John was like, did you see that? Yeah. And I was like, you saw it too? Yeah. I mean, we were
It's
laughing.
like someone who loves when LeBron does the powders, like he's waiting for that one thing.
That was his moment.
I just threw out my arm doing that, by the way. I'm in a significant amount of pain right now. But it was...
So think about how hard
Kevin and I didn't say anything to each other for like 5 minutes. I think we were internally laughing, and it was finally like, hey, by the way, did you just see that fucking guy?
We
That's
could have
awesome.
talked about, the fights, the event. Like we were talking about this one usher.
Yes!
First responders. Yeah. It was unbelievable.
Shows him his Punisher tattoo. Dan, do we need to go? I gotta go.
Okay.
Thanks for having me on, guys.
You bet.
What do we got topic-wise? Anything else? DiCaprio and Bezos.
Oh, yeah.
This little like exchange where
This is weird. Has this ever happened before?
what?
Just like two
two
people
men.
finish the rundown?
Yeah, see you, bro.
Does any random person want to come grab the microphone?
Well, it was funny because Rudy was like, I gotta be out of here by 2. And we're like, yeah, we're good. And next thing you know, we're talking about Travis Scott, like fucking for half an hour. Bezos and his girl were at some
Keeks,
event.
come grab this.
Yeah, you gotta talk about Leo. You can talk about that. They're clearly at some sort of like save the world thing, I'm sure, because Leo's involved. And and it looks like, what's her name? Something Sanchez?
I wouldn't even guess.
Bezos'
I was
girl.
like, who's
Look at that little wave. Like, no.
That's
No,
I'm pretty
it's
sure
not
she's
even a
like-
wave. Look at his hand. All the
finger
hand.
Look at her.
It's like-
Look
No,
at how
it's his
she's looking
first
at
one
him.
right there.
Look at how she's looking at him. Look at her eyes.
Also, he must be standing.
It's
Yeah, they're on a
amazing.
step, right? Because it looks like
Definitely. Bezos
Leo's
is
like
that
9
short.
feet tall.
Bezos
and
is only like
Bezos is a little
5'7", I
baby.
think. But Leo's not that tall either.
So
He's
the
like
whole
6'1".
internet is like, watch out, Leo's Mr. Steal Your Girl.
Leo's 6'1"?
Bezos
He's like 6
ends
foot or
up
6'1", yeah.
Bezos ends up quote tweeting Barstool's tweet about this video, saying like, "Hey Leo, come here, I gotta talk to you." And he's standing on a sign that says "Danger, steep cliff ahead,
Yeah.
fatal drop." I didn't see that fatal
Yeah,
drop.
yeah. That's
I'm going to
hysterical.
kill you, Leonardo DiCaprio.
Also, I mean, fucking Bezos. Let's chill out with these pythons he's got
Yeah,
here.
no, he's kind of
What
jacked,
is-
bro.
There's no.
You think
That's
he-
that's
you think
the
he
ego
faces
trick
it?
where you're pushing.
He's in shape.
He is in shape.
He's
that's
in
true.
shape, but those are fucking biceps.
I've seen his arms popping out of polos before, man.
Oh, that's true. I've seen that too. Get that fucking what's his look to him?
Popcorn
I'm
muscles?
googling Bezos muscles.
Because he does look like that.
Fucking. We've interviewed him. The
Rob?
newspaper guy in
No.
Spider-Man. Whiplash.
J.K.
Miles
Simmons.
Teller?
J.K. Simmons. Yes.
Yeah, no, he's
I
jacked
heard
too.
Whiplash. J.K. Simmons, yeah, sure.
Yeah, bro.
Yeah.
I mean, he's piped up,
He
dude.
got a little bye-bye.
He's
Yeah.
piped up.
Yeah, I mean, that's fucking.
He's piped up.
He's doing the age-old trick where you're pushing it up. But the Leo, I'm more interested in the Leo hand movement than anything else in the way she's looking at him. The Leo, like, that's a fucking.
It's like, I'm gonna fuck you
That's like
and your
I
friends
have-
all together.
I have studied how Jordan Belfort talks to people. He looks like a girl from Long Island. And this is how this goes.
It's too graceful, bro.
He looks like somebody
the
saying,
Italian
like, and
girls
I
are the-
guarantee it, like something like
Yeah.
that. And that's how it's going to go, or this is what
He
we're going
puts
to do.
the guarantee on the box.
Or like, oh, behave yourselves. Like that's what it could be. Any of those things. All right, but I need you guys to focus on the fact, on how she is looking at him. That is
Oh,
the
yeah.
only.
Look at that. You know
the
what it is?
only
It's that
thing.
tip.
Yeah.
At the very beginning, her neck
And
goes
he's
all the way up.
clearly
Like,
on he's clearly on like a step. Like they're on stairs,
Yeah.
and she goes up a step. Yeah. So like, there's no need for her to chill on that step like that, to look up at him like he's literally Jesus Christ himself. But I don't blame her.
I got a buddy who's 6'5", and he always calls it like the
Where's he at?
Yeah, well, that's basically he's always like he calls it like the goldfish effect. Like they're tapping on a bowl, and he's just. But
No,
he
it
always
is.
he always says girls just go, "You're tall." Like always saying
Well,
that. And
I
that's
mean,
exactly
you
what the
gotta
look
you
is
gotta
there.
say it right away. You gotta point it out. That's been my thing my whole
Like he
life is
doesn't
like,
know.
is he
Yeah.
tall or is he hot or is he just tall?
Yeah.
That's been my entire life.
Well,
It's hard. I mean, look at them. I don't know though. Jeff
that's
Bezos.
tough.
Do you think
well, you know what's
that,
funny? It's like everyone's like, "Mr. Steal Your Girl," and Bezos was like, "I have $150 billion."
right, exactly.
Like no one's stealing
but
my girl,
still,
bro.
though, I mean, money and Jeff
Who would
Bezos
you-
or Leo?
Yeah, like what's your take?
I don't know. I think obviously Leo is cream of the crop, but
Wait,
at the same
but like,
time,
which-
Are we
he's-
really talking Bezos versus Leo right
but he's
now?
also,
Yes.
but he's also like,
Come on.
I know, but listen, Leo though,
Put
he's
this to a
past
poll.
his
If it's
time.
not 90-10 Leo.
Well, for what? To just
95,
No, you gotta think
5.
about- you gotta
No,
think
be
about
with
everything.
forever.
Well,
They
forever.
both have
Forever
money.
is
You
different.
think that a girl would rather be with Leonardo DiCaprio, who just notoriously fucks all the time, whoever
Oh,
he
I
wants?
guess if
and,
we're
like,
talking about
Wearing
that.
I was
headphones.
just reading a
It's like the
gossip
least
thing the other day
personal
saying
experience you could
that
ever
he's
have.
dating a new girl. It was like the girl's friends were the sources, and they were like, Samantha like really wants to be with him, and she's really hurt. It was pictures that surfaced of him outside the club getting numbers from a girl.
Yeah.
And it was like Samantha really is really hurt by this, but she knows if she brings this up that like he's gone, so she just has to like put up.
That's 100% facts. Like, he just finds a new bitch.
But so you rather that or the guy who looks like a penis who has $150 billion, so you don't really have to be worried about him being like a coxman except for his money, but you get his money.
But
I'd rather settle down with that than Leo.
I agree with that.
In a
If we're
marry,
talking-
fuck,
if we're
kill, you
talking
marry
forever,
Bezos and you fuck Leo.
Yes.
I don't
yes.
think money matters here. They both have money
No.
you can't
This
spend in a lifetime.
child tells
Not
me
like-
money
not
doesn't
Leo.
matter, Kelly.
Leo
But
doesn't-
they both have money you can't spend.
Listen.
No,
You can't run out of money if you're either of them.
I'll say
billionaire
this.
money
It
is
is way
different
more
than Leo
likely
money.
for me to be able to swindle money during a relationship out of Jeff Bezos than it is Leonardo DiCaprio.
You could
Leo
do-
has been going his whole life getting all these hoes like all over him. He's dead behind the eyes when it comes to sex. Everyone knows that he only has sex with people from behind with headphones in. That's his thing.
Everybody knows that one.
I would not enjoy that every single time. It's just
Bezos?
like I want to go out to dinner with Leo. I want to take like Instagram selfies. Like I don't know. I want to be cute. Jeff Bezos will do all those things and he'll buy me like a plane.
Bezos puts Leo's yacht on his yacht.
Yeah.
Yeah, like you,
Like, I
you
love
take
Leo. Don't
Leo's
get me
yacht
wrong,
to
I love
get
him.
to it as
I
like the
wouldn't
little
have.
tender
I
to
want to
go.
go on a fucking Royal Caribbean. I've been on one of those ones. It sucks. Give me a Boston
His
whaler and a
boat does
fucking
look like that.
six-pack, baby. That's how I roll.
His boat does look like a Royal Caribbean boat.
Boston whaler. Any other? What's going on in the girl world? Anything?
The girl.
Yeah. Any?
Well, I don't know, Kevin. Like,
Is it Mercury
I did my nails last
rising
night.
right
Let me
now?
ask you a question about the state and the fate of the Bachelor series, the Bachelorette
oh
series.
my fucking
Is
I
it up in
think
the air?
that we are
No, it's
at
not.
a point. No, but I think we're
It's
at a
not.
point where we're not even doing the pretending that this is for love anymore.
Yeah.
This is just for people to get Instagram followers and to become a little bit famous and to be able to do live shows for their podcast. And I think that the Bachelor needs to almost like admit that and be like the latest
Why?
one.
Did one just end?
Well, the latest one, like they
No.
already got this. They already got.
This is
they
what
were
will
engaged
happen.
and they already got broken up.
This is
it's
what,
like
this is the thing. We, The Bachelor and The Bachelorette, those two kinds of shows are getting more difficult because they want them to be so serious. Bachelor in Paradise is
That's
the one
what's
that
up.
everybody goes on.
We're just fucking
where it's
and
just like
partying.
everybody that was already
Yeah.
on, they're just like fucking and partying, and it's like drama. It feels more like real world mixed with like
Yes,
dating and whatever,
yes.
which it's really fun.
But
It does really well.
like,
But
when you're crying and meeting the
what's
families, and we
annoying-
know.
Right, what's
Katie Thurston
annoying-
did a whole
Katie
media
Thurston,
tour.
don't get me started.
Being
I stuck up for Katie, and I was like, oh no, she's fine, she's cool.
She was
that
on
was
Whitney
a bunch
Cummings.
of
She was
bullshit,
talking
and I was
about.
pissed.
She mentioned it on our show how she said like I learned that he squats in the shower to wash his asshole.
Oh, yeah.
We're learning all these
An
things about it.
unnecessary move.
Why would you do that? Yeah,
To get
that's-
your asshole
I
cleaner.
didn't hear that. Like that sounds weird.
She was like, we're learning all these things about each other, and like the next week it was like, yeah, we're broken up. Because of course you're broken up. Because you're just like, you know what I mean?
What
It's
I
just
don't-
silly
what
to
I
even
think that
pretend
I don't
anymore.
understand is why they do. They just need to
What a
shift it a
loving
little
moment
bit. They
this
don't need
was.
to. Oh, that's lovely.
Glenn, you just hug and reel in the most, in like a really, really
All right.
sweet
That's
moment.
What's
nice.
happening over
Okay.
there? What's going on?
I don't know.
Wow.
It's just
All right.
hugs.
It was,
I think
it's
that
gotten weird.
They're testing hugs.
Too many hugs. Too many hugs, guys. Do you do the diagonal? Do you do the around?
I'm a diagonal guy.
I'm a up and under.
Whoa.
Like people I don't know I'll go diagonal, but like
Yeah.
we know each other well.
I'll go up and
Show
under
'em.
or over above.
Glenn
Come
just
here.
wants a hug. That
So
was
would you
slick.
like a hug?
That
Come
was
here.
slick. Show me how you do it,
Hang on,
girl.
hang on. I don't understand how up he
Aw.
does
I'm a
the hands
diagonal guy.
exactly.
I gotta go up and over because if I go over top, it's like I'm too much.
You know what you should do,
Unless they're taller
Glenny?
than me.
Come here, Glenny. Let me give you a hug, Glenny. I'm gonna go. You know what I'm doing? I'm going underneath. I'm going like.
That's fine. That's basically what I do.
You're crazy bastard.
One goes above. I think that's
Yeah.
All right, let's.
yes.
We're doing.
You
hug.
gotta go. I'm gonna go under. You go above.
nice now everyone's
This is so fun. See, I like to go
We're
like
getting
this.
anywhere,
I
like
go in
back,
for like a
back,
handshake and I
back.
smack that away and go like
That's
that.
nice. That's nice.
Yeah, that's the that's a
lovely.
guy hug. The diagonal.
hug a girl.
Are we hugging again? Oh yeah. Yeah. Do the pats.
I go under. I say I go under because the only time I go over is if they're taller than me. Like I can't go
like, I go
over
like
Rhea
this.
because then I look like
you
a
would go
baby.
under.
So I'll give
You're like
Rhea a
picking
hug
her
like oh sweet.
Then you gotta squat.
But then like
That's
I'll hug
sorority
you.
shit.
I'll go over top
Yes.
because it's normal.
Yes.
But then that's
But like we're the same
depends on the
height,
height.
So who goes over?
I probably would go over.
Assert
You
dominance.
guys just went at each other like two plugs.
Yeah.
What's gonna happen?
Anyway, yeah. So the Bachelor's fucked. You're right. I don't
right,
know. I don't know what they need to do. Well, I'll tell you what they need to do. They need to stop making it so serious in the way of like you're engaged, you're getting married. Like let them just be in a relationship
Right.
at the end. Then it
At
won't
the
be.
end, you just pick a
Then every
boyfriend
time
or
they
a
break up,
girlfriend.
because they always break up, very few of them stay together. But when they break up,
What
it won't
they-
be that big of a surprise, or oh, it just didn't work, whatever.
What they
There'll be
really
some
should
scandal.
do is start to charge pay-per-view for the Fantasy Suite night, and everybody will watch that. See the way you reacted?
I love the
Oh, but
fantasy
I wouldn't
suite
watch
night.
it. I
Well,
mean, like, I
Fantasy Suite
guess
night
I
is only
watch it,
fun.
but I
Well,
don't
Mark
fucking
down John is
care.
the one
I actually
person.
no. I like the Fantasy Suite night the way that it is, where they like send them away, and then the next morning they come back
There's
and
like a thon
they
on the floor?
yes, they
Yeah.
like place it all strategically. They show birds, they show bees every
on the
time.
floor,
That's their
birds
thing.
and rows.
They show like still
Used
a bird, still
condom
a
dripping.
bees. They show stuff all over the floor, and them like awkwardly snuggled in bed still with like
Yeah.
no shirts on, like
Yeah.
what a night, and it's
There's
like
a black
what the fuck?
thong that just has that weird white like.
Stop.
Yep.
Stop
That
it.
residue.
Stop it! I'm gonna throw up. I'm gonna throw up.
Me too.
I
It's
hate
disgusting.
you so much. I hate you so much.
It just is what it is. Girls underpants, they're gross.
Well, yeah, I mean,
the
yeah.
way of the world.
Yeah.
Bunch of
The most
fucking animals.
unspoken thing. John
I
said it
lose
looks like a
sleep.
camel spitting there.
I lose sleep over that.
Yeah.
Like I lose sleep over it. I'm
should.
like, I gotta keep track at all times.
You should, yeah,
Like,
know where
there's
your
no-
underwear is at all times.
If you get too
Leave it
drunk,
in the
it's like the
hamper?
most embarrassing
God, no.
thing. No.
No.
No, there's never. You'll never.
That's
no,
like
I
that's
can't get
like
into
the
it.
true
I can't
test
talk
of like
about
when
that.
a relationship, like are you for real? Like that's like let's just get married because I saw your underwear on the floor afterwards.
No, that's
Seek
crazy.
your discharge.
Oh,
Stop. Okay, stop.
done.
I'm gonna puke.
motherfucker said discharge. God.
Happy
Don't
Monday.
say it. I'm sweating. I'm sweating. Please leave me alone. Oh, no.